Live. Hey, Queenie, how are you?
Sometimes I think if I was any better, I would be you, Doc. How are you?
I'm fantabulous. Is that a word?
Awesome. It's a word for me, and my spell check no longer questions me on it, so it must be real now. And I seriously do love that. I seriously do love that. We would like to welcome everybody today to Doc and Queenie Live at High Noon. We actually picked Monday for a reason. And the Monday piece is because we wanted to give everyone as much joy and excitement and happiness as possible. And we have a super exciting week coming up. Opportunity for even we have opportunity for as you can see, Dr. Laura has left us, but we have opportunity for connecting with other people. And we are wondering at this moment if the screens are going to work with everybody going online for their Thanksgiving celebration. And we'll just have to see. And you never know what's going to happen. And obviously, Dr. Laura, we never know what's going to happen. And
No, we
there's
don't.
something about Monday at high noon that causes this. But I was just mentioning about how grateful we are for certainly the internet, because that is one of the big things for us, how we connect with everyone. And sometimes, especially with Thanksgiving week, a lot of people have decided they're going to do their celebrations actually on Zoom or other platforms. And what's it going to look like if everybody decides to do their turkey celebration on Zoom or some other cyber platform and this happens?
Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully
I
not.
know, and I've actually thought about that. If the whole world is going to say Happy Turkey Day at the same time, we're going to have some big cyber crash as we do now with everybody else. So tell
But
us
this
what's
is,
going on in the world of Doc today.
I was going to say, this is a good example of being flexible and rolling with the punches. No,
Yeah.
what's going on with Doc? Well, today I was just going to do a blanket thankful for our faithful friends on purpose and
Okay.
anybody and everybody that's watching.
Sure.
Because it is the week of Thanksgiving, and I don't know about you, Queenie, but for me, it's the little things that mean a lot in these trying times, or such a time as this. It sticks out that much more because of all we have all gone through. You know, so we're thankful here over at Doc's house. How about at Queenie's house? What's going on over there?
Well, very seriously too, to think, and I was just looking up on our page. I think we have 173 members of our community now.
Yay,
And
everybody!
I mean, honestly, that who'd have thunk it when we
I
decided
know,
to launch this August 3rd, which I look back to those dates every time. And I think there's no way that this has been happening since August
I
3rd.
know, I
And
know.
the faithful friends on purpose that we've gotten to see, and the different friends that connect. And that's another cool thing that I have noticed with Doc and Queenie is within the community, some of the ladies and gentlemen have connected also. And then one thing leads to another. And then with our guest live that we started last month, those are the kind of things that are amazing. And our next one will actually be next, I think it's next Tuesday. And we're not going to tell you who, but it really has been phenomenal to connect with people all over the globe now. And while we're on the subject of what's happening, I wanted to make sure that everybody knows the guest lives will be spontaneous. You don't know, only the
Yes.
guest live person does. So for those of you watching with us today, you won't know the date. We're just going to pop on Facebook Live, and then we have opportunity, hopefully, for
Yeah.
recording. I do my disclaimer. And so with all the recording and the cyber gods helping out and all that stuff, you'll be able to see the recording of our guest, which is also cool. And our next bingo party is actually December 15th,
Yes.
and that's at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. But, Dr.
Yes.
I actually have something I wanted to share with the community, so please close your ears for a second.
Should
Um,
I leave? Should I leave?
no, don't leave. Please don't leave me.
Don't leave me,
I
please.
wanted to offer everyone an opportunity for a happy birthday wish to you. And it's going to be on December 14th at high noon.
And
Exactly
hi, new.
any
Yes.
opportunity, exactly the same time, same bat station, same bat location. And we're going to open up the Zoom ID and password. And that way we'll be able to have our friends on purpose pop in and say happy birthday to our doc. So please think about that for all of you watching with us. And we're going to be sharing this in the next couple of weeks on our group page to be able to actually share a happy birthday greeting for you. So I just wanted everybody to know we're going to open the times up, the IDs up and all that stuff. So you'll actually be able to pop on and off our Zooms as you wish. They won't be closed off. And again, Lord willing. So we will be trying to do that. And it will be a happy birthday doc opportunity because I know this is a biggie for you and it's awesome. And one of these decades, I'll be able to welcome you into my decade, but then I'll already be gone from that decade. So we got a lot of problems going on here.
but we could remember the day of your birth next month, or I'm sorry, the month after.
Mine, remember, I'm 27 and I go backwards by 10s. So I just decided I'm not doing forwards anymore. I'm going back by 10.
Back by 10. Well, at least it's easy to count.
Yeah, I know. I have to make it easy. You know that. But I just wanted to share with everybody, we're going to post the Zoom ID and password to be able to say happy birthday to Doc on December 14th at high noon, right here on the Doc and Queenie page. So please don't miss out. Okay, so let's get into our joy, happy, happy today. And one of the things I wanted to chat about is, first of all, honestly, I know that you've had some challenges with your phone lately. Look how dependent we have become on these little teensy devices. How dependent we have become. And what is your plan B? What is your pivot point? And you've done a great job with the pivot, by the way.
I tried. And, I also tried to be patient with the phone as it was slowly dying with the hope that it was just me. And maybe I, plugged it in upside down or something silly like that. But yes, the pivot was, okay, how can I figure out how to
I know. I was just going to show you that.
Yeah. Oh dear. It's the turkey.
No. It's not going to get worse yet.
I'm not exactly sure what we are there. Pretty in pink. And of course, as everybody knows, we're not real big pink fans, but we do look good in those pictures.
You know what? Yeah. But I wanted to bring this up because even with Messenger, and we've gotten to do that with Debbie Miller when she does her tea time on Tuesdays at 2 for the Messenger piece. I think we've learned too much, Doc. What do you think?
Yes, we've been playing with the little, it's like a Snapchat thing on there. And yes, but you talked about the pivot. So we were on Instant Messenger last night because my phone died. I was on the phone for a while and then we went on the Facebook thing. So, but it's always going out there and looking to see what other options. And of course, if you don't have any options, if you're totally dependent on your phone, you're kind of stuck. But I live in a techie house, so we have lots of technical things that I don't understand, but I have access to other, I've got access to my computer. Hopefully it will hang in there.
I wonder if there's some kind of cyber satellite thing over your house with all the different technology you've got going on in there at all times. So
yeah, the EMF is flying about, yeah.
I think about that for sure. Yeah, I think about that for sure. I don't know if everybody's ready for this actually, but we are almost to the end of November, which is so phenomenal for me. And usually when I've done some of my groups in person, we've been talking about what's your word for 2021, and which causes us now to think back to what was our word for 2020. Holy moly. And did we have any idea when we turned that magic calendar, Happy New Year, happy decade, if you remember everybody around here, especially with the dynamic Super Bowl champions, that was pretty fun. And so you think back just a little bit to just a few, 11 short months ago, how different everything has been. And then when March hit, wow, and we're almost ready to turn the calendar. Have you chosen a word yet, Doc, for 2021?
It's not in stone yet, but it hasn't. I usually pray about it, and there we go, Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Go Chiefs, and they won last night. Sorry, Vegas, but they won.
I know, yeah, and that I do love my girls in Vegas actually, and it was one of those games that just gets all sweaty, and I thought, oh my gosh, what is this going to?
Edge of the seat, yeah, you're just throwing little fits. Because of course we can do so much better.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was a hard game to watch, I will say.
Yeah. No, my word for next year is action or act.
Oh wow.
My word this year was impact. So I have made an impact, and now I need to continue to act on the impact I have made. How about you, Queenie?
Wow,
What's your
action is certainly awesome. That there's a lot of different directions that can certainly go. You had a huge year of not only growth, but certainly action in your business life. And when I think about things like that, that really is a tribute to your dedication. And I think your main up here kind of goal is helping people. And that shows on everything that you do. My word is for the next month, expectation. And who knew back when I picked it literally over a year ago, the expectation was going to turn out to be so impactful for me. And I have chosen my 2021 word as resilient. And so the resilient piece is basically to help train, teach, share what resilience means to us. And are you resilient, or did you succumb to any prior pressures, peer pressure, whatever that looks like? And we as believers are resilient, and being able to share that with the world will be a tribute to all of us, and certainly to our Father, which is pretty cool.
And isn't it interesting how both our words are kind of how we are anyways?
Yeah.
I'm an type A personality, which is go, 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 move, move, move. And you're just like, okay, I'm holding up the fort.
Yeah.
I'm running around like a crazy. Yeah.
As long as the internet lasts, I'll hold down the fort. If the internet goes away, I can't help anybody. So yeah, that really is a big deal. I noticed a gorgeous picture behind you, my friend. You've got a lot, and in fact, this would be a good segue into your business. Tell us what's happening, not only with Mighty Morning Moment, but definitely with RevDoc 7. I love that logo of yours.
Well, let me, as usual, my skills. We'll start with Mighty Morning Moment, which is my podcast. That was something that started back in, what was it, March 24th?
Wow, that's exactly right.
Yeah, and I, of course, cannot look and see what my stats are because my phone is dead. But the last time I looked, I've been doing this since March 24th. I've had over 790 listens to my podcasts. I hit number 70 podcast last week, I want to say, and I'm up to 71 or 72 podcasts. But I've loved doing that. It's just it's a thought, it's a mindset thought. It's a challenge for the listener. It's a 2 to 5 minute little podcast that gets you to think about different subjects. And actually, I was doing a series which was called Foundations, and I did actually a foundations in business relationships. I kind of poked at the stuff that we see out there with people saying they want to be in a business relationship, but it doesn't quite, look the way, and I'm not going to shit on anybody, but it's just, relationship is like what we're doing. Relationship is what we're all doing with connecting. That's relationship. So I make my comments on that on the Mighty Morning Moment, but that was a biggie. That was a biggie.
That is a biggie. And I think the foundation piece was awesome for me because literally, I've told you before that I have been blessed blessed bigger than I can imagine with girlfriends I've had. Just a few short years ago for high school, for one of my besties, we went to high school.
Yeah, just about 10 years ago, wasn't it?
Even probably only 7.
7, I'm sorry. I'm so confused.
Yeah.
I'm so much older
But honestly, we thought, how is it possible? How is it even imaginable that you can be friends with someone over 50 years? And this is recorded, but I'm deleting this part.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure. Well, you're thinking about somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah. But we were thinking about that. And now she lives less than 3 miles away from me. And so we literally have gone all over the place in our lives, but we end up 3 miles apart. And it's the coolest thing in the whole world because we get to see each other several times a year in person, and obviously communicate by text and messenger the rest of the time. But how is that possible? And for you to do the foundations and the communication part and the relationship piece all in your Mighty Morning Moment, I really do hope that you know how impactful that is to a lot of us.
I've been getting a lot of really good feedback. I just go at what God's telling me to do, and whatever feels right is what comes out. So it's a little sporadic, and I'm still learning the technology too. It's a big curve, and what works.
Call me if you need any help.
Sure, I will. Yeah. So, but yeah, that was a biggie. And then, you and I have both jumped into the YouTube circle, and a lot of my YouTubes are the majority of them are teaching on gardening or eating right. It backs up my naturopathy background, which is,
Yep.
soul, body, spirit, and what we put into our bodies and how that, how the body responds and illness and etc. So yeah, and I actually rebranded. I'm now RevDoc7, and you can see me on Facebook with RevDoc7, or you can just go to my website, which has podcasts and Instagram accounts and all of that fun stuff, and that's revdoc7.com. So, but you talk about all the years with your high school friends and the connection and all of that. We also talk a lot about how, what are the chances of you and I meeting if,
Oh my
that
gosh.
even 2 years, 3, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I guess we could say, we
Mhm.
probably crossed paths 10,000 times driving by each other's houses, but it was just that one person, one moment, our paths cross, and the rest is history. It's really cool. And we have a lot in common. I mean, you are a water freak just like I am. So, and now I'm part of your water business and your water family, and
Yep.
it works.
Yeah, I love that. And you think in terms, and we've got several fabulous ladies on this call, and people, certainly gentlemen also, but we would not have met many of our current faithful friends on purpose if it hadn't been for networking. And
Yes.
that's the piece for me. And I don't want to go today. I'm not feeling well. My dress is not ironed. Whatever that looks like, I don't want to go today. And instead of doing that, it was like, okay, let's get this done. And it turned out to be so impactful. And you're so right. One split second changes everything if we hadn't participated in our fabulous No Excuses group also. One of the things I wanted to mention, and I think I told you this the other day, but since your phone has died, I forget where we left off. But one of the things that's amazing for me is I am halfway to my goal on my YouTube channel. And I looked at that and I know, and I thought, oh my gosh, that is the coolest thing. If you get 100 subscribers on YouTube, hello, I'm a novice, but as soon as you get 100 subscribers on YouTube, you get to claim your channel. Well, I'm Kathy Weaver KC on all of my platforms, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everything. And that's my identity branding, so to speak. And literally, I went to YouTube and I Googled it because I had to figure out how this part worked. But I wanted to own the Kathy Weaver KC on YouTube also, so that it would be easier to find when you're doing the link. And I'm almost halfway there. So if anybody wants to get on my YouTube
Shout
channel,
out.
subscribe,
Yes.
yeah, I would super be appreciative of that, because I'm actually recording my orange book, which is this one, Networking on Steroids, that was published in 2012. Who knew? These 8 years, are you kidding me? But when I decided to record the purple one that just happened in 2007, this year in July, actually, when I recorded that one, I thought, why don't I record the first one also? And I love the feedback I'm getting from that also, and that has been super fun for me. So the Kathy Weaver KC part, if anybody is willing to do the subscription, I would certainly appreciate that, because I'm halfway to my ultimate goal of 100 subscribers, which is kind of fun. And I haven't decided yet how to do He Hit the Clouds Running and Never Looked Back book. I'm not totally sure if I'm going to do the whole book at one time. I don't know if people could handle listening to me for that long. But
that's a little different format and a little different.
It is actually. Yeah, that might make a difference. And like you mentioned, the water business, Miracles with Water is my branding for that. And I am thrilled. I mean, seriously thrilled beyond. I know. Thrilled beyond that. In your naturopathy field, you already knew the importance. Soul, body, spirit, yes. And we have to have air to breathe. We have to have water to drink. And we have to have the right foods to eat so our body recognizes those. You have taught me so much about the soul, body, spirit connection and how all of that works together. If something's wrong with the air we breathe, we're going to end up with challenges. If something's wrong with the water we're drinking, we're going to have kaflooey mess going on in our bodies that we can't even see yet. And if we are eating, I call it dog food, but it's stuff that comes out of a window, let's just say. But if it's any of those kind of things that we're eating, all of a sudden that does a disconnect. It totally does a disconnect in the body, and the body's going, yikes, what is that? and it's a predisposition to other illnesses. I'm very serious. Your knowledge in that arena is so huge for me. And I know that you offer a free consultation, and that again is, I'm trying to let the faithful friends on purpose know that is an impactful piece right off the bat, because as soon as people find out how much you actually care about their health and wellness journey, oh my gosh, the rest is history. And then you think every single time, when I put this in my mouth, is it going to be a good fit for whatever's happening, or am I going to cause other challenges? And you're really great at that.
Thank you. Well, and we were talking about that the other day. I mean, my piece, which is different from a lot of other naturopaths.
Yes.
I got sick. I lived it, and I'm still living it. I'm 90. I always say 90% better, but I got super sick, and that's actually how I wound up in the field, because it was a long haul, and so you pay it forward. Like what you're doing with your books and your networking. We pay it forward.
Yes, absolutely.
That's that's my actually caveat to why am I different from Joe Blow down the street.
Well, and that really, look at that. I mean, how many people
still living it
would be intimidated to go to someone, first of all, they don't know, and even to have this platform, people get an opportunity to actually know you. And then the next thing you know, it's a free consultation. And then after that, you can create their path, their journey, and whatever you would offer them as far as their next step. That's right. Huge, because a lot of people are still doing traditional medicine, I think, as they call it, and they're choosing that path. And what if they don't want that path? And right. You definitely have an alternative.
Thank you. Follow. Yeah, no, the 30 minutes is just chit chat about what's going on. I don't necessarily give advice out or any of that, because it's more kind of a get to know you and kind of get to know what challenges you have. And then we go from there, because everybody is different. There's not a one-stop shopping. And, I've got a lot of folks actually that have chronic illnesses, and that's a long haul. And to have somebody alongside and design it for the individual, how to help. People think, oh, well, this isn't easy. Well, if you're pretty sick, it took you a long time to get there, and there are a lot of puzzle pieces. So
what you're saying is you can't make people well overnight. Is that the deal?
I don't fix anybody. I just support, and
yes.
I come alongside, support, and then I use the knowledge of everything and put it all together. So and and smile.
But see, that right there is a perfect message, because you, I, whomever,
fix anything
or fix anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing. We're not in this alone, certainly, but the bigger issue is we get to do things together, and we get to be part of each other's lives now. And I really seriously mean that. Those are the things that you have taught us already, even on this call, that I think have been so impactful over the years. And I mean that. And to think that we have only met such a short time ago is the part that I just can't even believe.
Yes.
How fast all of these things have gone. The time since last year, we met in July at No Excuses Networking, and then the March 24th for your Mighty Morning Moment podcast, and then the Doc and Queenie Live August 3rd. And I see all those chess pieces moving, and our networks are growing. And I need you to talk to Doc about this, and I need you to talk to Queenie about this, and how everything overlaps, I think, has been amazing. We've already gotten to have, I never knew Pam before. She was our first guest live, and she is a fascinating person. And the second person was Grace Strawn. Hello. Can you make a larger member of the community with such a dynamic opportunity for connection? And then the one and only Michelle Cruz with Legal Shield, who also is a Ladies of Justice ambassador. You see how all of this interacts and intertwines. And now some of these people have connected outside of the Doc and Queenie arena.
Yes, totally. And I wanted to ask a question, because we talked about this earlier. When your phone goes down and you have to pivot, we were talking about this the other day with, we always talk about a bestie or friendship or connection. How do you feel about that in the realm of relationship? Do you, what makes, an acquaintance different from like a bestie or that piece or the connection, or even just what you were talking about with our guests that we know, and they've brought in other people and we're all interconnected. What's your thought on that, Queenie?
When somebody, for me, it's always, and it's certainly the biggest word for me always is trust. If I know someone well enough to know that, and it's not a networking referral based thing, because some of those have gone massively awry for me. I refer someone to a something and they disaster it somehow. And that definitely comes back on me like, oh, thanks a lot. So I'm very careful about those things now. But I go back and I think about the piece to that puzzle is trust for me. And I trust you so implicitly. And so now if someone is on a path that might be scary, I say you might want to just have a consultation, not a treatment, not a diagnosis, not a nothing, a consultation to see if there's an opportunity for change. And then you go into something like that, and then that person trusts me. And you see what I mean? It's a reciprocal relationship. And then we take it one step further. And I've said before at some of the networking groups, especially for grandchildren, how many people would know the person well enough to know how many kids you have? Are you married or not? Do you have kids or not? Do you have grandchildren or not? What does that look like in a relationship? And it's all just getting to know people. And Karen Reyes, the dynamic creator of our Doc and Queenie logo, they call themselves the Griswolds. And I love that so much because they have their pajama party every year for Christmas. And I've seen their pictures. They are hysterical and all. And her family is young enough that it still is growing. And it's so fun every year to see that not only the jammies that they have, but the new additions to their family. And that has been a very fun thing to watch. But it's back to the relationship piece. If I hadn't met Karen networking and been in several of her community circles and watched her growth at ACA, she's an ambassador and a founding member actually of the American Club Association here in Kansas City. And it's literally one of those things, and watching someone's growth has been so fun. And I know you've got, just like with Pam, you guys, I think you've known each other for so long, and you meet people at church, you meet people at school. What does that look like? I just love the impact.
Right. Oh, yeah. I've known Pam, and actually our mascots, Dave and Larry here. That's another friends. Those are her kitties because we don't have cats. We've got an allergy in the house. So
This is
yeah,
my mascot.
There's Dave is Queenie's mascot, and let's see if I can find mine. Larry is my bud.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they moved away from me. Their mommy took me away. Their mommy took him away from me. But
there he is. Yeah. See what I mean? Those are so fantastic to think we have mascots now. And I love that. And I got to meet Bev in person. She came to No Excuses a couple times. And once again, that journey is impactful for me. I would never have met her if you hadn't brought her to that networking event. Our paths would not have crossed probably. And you think back to the people that have made an impact on our lives. And here we are back to that same circle again. But that's honestly, I hope that was a long answer as far as what you wanted, but it's the trust piece for me is a biggie. And I can't refer someone, even for communication, if it's not a mutual trust thing going on.
Right. Well, and of course, honesty, that's a given. And honesty, the trust is built on the honesty. And I was just thinking of that, in a business sense too. I mean, because there have been times where you have to be honest with people and say, I don't think this is a good fit or whatever. Because it's all about, how we show up in the world and all of that.
Oh, like, isn't that the truth?
But there does have to be a trust built. And sometimes it takes time, but yeah, and to swing back around to my podcast, that's exactly what the foundations of business relationships is talking about. Because a lot of times you'll run across people that just want your network and your money, and then they disappear, and it's kind of sad because they're only going to get to a certain point, in my opinion, because they're
sometimes people wonder why they're stuck. And that's the question. Why are you stuck? And I gave you A, B, C, D, E, F, G as potentials. And then I go over to the person and I say, did whomever call? Right. And they go, no. And I thought, oh, well, I can't do it for them. And I'm sure it's certainly the same way in your business.
Oh yeah, I can say if you need tennis lessons, go to Pam. If you want a card, Grace. If you need some legal advice, join Legal Shield and call Michelle. There you go.
Yes,
If you need water, Queenie or Doc, you know. But
yes.
that's
That
really,
is such a big deal for me.
yeah,
I
yeah,
have something I want to share. I don't know how this is going to show up on the screen, but
okay,
Christmas seems to be the theme. So please close
yes.
your eyes for a second.
Oh, Queenie, I think it's
Huh?
upside down. Is it upside down?
No, this is the little turkey person, and this is exactly how he needs to show up in the world. And so
Okay.
I absolutely love this with all my heart. And I have reindeer antlers and all kinds of things that I torment my children with when they can. The thing is green down here, which is kind of funny because obviously it doesn't show up on the
Yeah, it's
green.
invisible.
I know. And I have all kinds of things to annoy my children with for this next coming up season.
Gosh,
So I have
Queenie.
a
All
very,
I've got is sleeves, but I
yeah,
I wasn't expecting a hat today.
I
Uh,
know. And that's why I thought, if this shows up, I have to be a part of the turkey celebration. Tell us a little bit about your Thanksgiving feast, because those of us who are doc groupies and follow you around on RevDoc 7 to teach us how to cook. Hello. Um,
Okay, do I have to put the
there.
disclaimer in? I can put the disclaimer
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
It's a holiday, so we kind of go outside our little box a little bit. But
Okay.
I'm a fanatical about organic as much as possible. So
Okay.
we purchase an arm and a leg. We donate an arm and a leg to buy a turkey, and we do what it's called spatch cut, and it's you cut the backbone out of the turkey, and we buy the turkey fresh. You cut the backbone out of the turkey and squish them flat, and then take a salt brine and let it sit for a couple of days.
Yeah.
You cannot burn the turkey, the skin and it cooks perfectly. And the best part is we get 20 to 25-pound turkey. We can cook it in less than 45 minutes
Wow.
in the oven. So that's a
Ooh.
biggie for us. But yeah, we're doing turkey. I think green beans are going to have bacon and blue cheese this year. My daughter just put a thumbs up on that one. Yes, homemade pumpkin pie with a gluten-free crust.
Oh my gosh, now that actually sounds
What
amazing.
else are we doing? I can't even. I got a request for mashed potatoes, probably with garlic and onions in there. We're not real big, too big on a lot of stuff. And then
So it's not all the traditional sides. People do stuffing and corn casserole and all those kind of things.
we'll
I've
do
heard about.
we'll do stuffing. It'll be a gluten-free stuffing. We're
Okay.
doing it out of a rosemary French bread this year. I wanted to do a pumpkin bread, but I didn't have enough time to test out my recipe because it has to be a yeast bread, and usually pumpkin is not a yeast bread.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's kind of, and then we'll do a flourless brownie with ice cream or something like that. And of course, everything is gluten-free and dairy-free as best we can. And that's the disclaimer to outside of the box.
That
How
is a
about
disclaimer. And that's why I was wondering, and do you do hors d'oeuvres or pre-eat stuff in your family?
well, we start our day. We start first thing in the morning with mimosas, and I think this year I'm going to I had a request for blueberry muffins, though either
Oh
that
my
or
gosh, now that sounds awesome.
gluten-free coffee cake. I don't know. Well, and for those people that don't know, I used to have a baking business, so I've converted all of my recipes to gluten-free. So I still bake, not often, but it's a holiday time, so we indulge. How about you, Queenie?
Wow.
I really love your
Um,
hat.
Thank you. I love it so much too. And I
Just
really do.
keep
I
it on in the house. Yeah.
think it fits me. I hope I don't have any outside appointments today because this would be a little scary. Um,
Well,
Mine is just normal, traditional everything as far as green bean casserole and stuffing, as they call it. I'm not a fan. And so it's hard for me to make something I'm not a fan of. And so my cooking skills are not similar to yours as far as organic, gluten-free, holistic, all of that. But my choice for Thanksgiving, and this is for real, Grace just posted something today
yes, I saw that.
and all that, and I knew
I
that
saw
you
that.
tagged me in it. That
Yep.
would be my choice if I
Yes.
didn't have kids coming over, because it is that is my deal. I would love salmon. I would certainly love asparagus, and I literally could live like that if there weren't outside things happening in my life. And I wouldn't give that part up for the world, obviously, but it's back to that same drill. Cauliflower, I actually created cauliflower with uh, I don't remember the rest of it, but mayonnaise and Parmesan, and then you roast it It was,
Yeah, you were doing that a while ago. I remember you doing that.
yeah, and that would be what I would serve also, like a potato substitute. And
Mhm.
I'm not a fan of that either. Sweet potatoes, absolutely. But just white potatoes to me are kind of boring. Now, with you doing that with rosemary, that would be phenomenal. And I definitely love turkey breast, but as far as meat, that's kind of not my thing. And so the tradition part will happen here, but I would like to push a button on my phone and have all of this delivered.
Oh, I would, sometimes I wish, yeah, it's a lot of work. And then all of my herbs I grow. So
Oh my
all
gosh. And yes, you have shared some of those with me.
those, we'll do the
Tell
rosemary
me what to
thyme.
do with which one. And I
Well,
can
you've
figure
done
it
very
out.
well and it's
Yeah.
looked really delicious.
Yeah. The other
So
day,
I'm
you
pushing
actually
you,
gave
Queenie.
me the, I'm learning, right? You gave me some ginger root and I put
Yes.
that, like potato peeled that into sweet potatoes and roasted them in the oven. Oh my God.
Good.
That was phenomenal. And so, like I say, I'm a good little student. So if you teach me how to do some of this with the things that you grow and create, then I will do my best to get it done.
But we are truly opposites because you're really not a big meat per
Uh-uh.
se. You're probably a pescatarian, which is fish.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, a lot of times we'll go out and I'm going for the side of beef and you're like, I'll have vegetable soup. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah, it's just not a good fit for me. It's not my favorite thing, that's for sure. And turkey, like I say, would be my least awful, and the rest of it I could certainly take or leave, and most of the time I leave it. So uh, it's just not my thing. Well, Doc, honestly, I love, love, love. Certainly, your Christmas trees behind us are amazing. And
That's at my favorite store.
yeah, and that's back to that same drill. How is it possible that Doc's favorite store is Home Depot? Oh my gosh. I
I
don't,
love
I just don't even think, I can't remember when I have even been in one of those. I can't imagine. I go to the little hardware store down the street here because it's smaller and there's usually a gentleman there to say, what can I help you with? And I give him a picture and I say, see this? I need another one. So yeah.
Well, and I told you my story behind Home Depot. I grew up with a dad that always was finishing a basement. And so
Ah,
I would help him, and then I passed that along. My husband never picked up a screwdriver or a hammer until he met me, and that's what we do. And actually, we were there the other day because we needed a new drill, so it was fun.
well, I am so glad that that excites you. But tell him hi for me because unless I'm buying more
I
Christmas,
will.
because as you can see, I need more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're all set. And of course, opposites again. My tree is not up, which is why I'm taking advantage of Home Depot today.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
so hysterical to me. There might actually be a Christmas lighting ceremony in both of our properties. What do you think about
Yes.
that?
I think it's going to be fun. We just have to pick out the song and it'll be interesting. Well, I'm hoping I ordered a phone. It should be here in the next. I'm hoping it gets here before Thanksgiving.
Okay, that's a good hope. I hope
We can
too.
hope. I paid for extra like 1 day shipping or whatever, and
Oh my
it's
gosh.
shipped. So it'd be great if it showed up tomorrow, but we'll see.
No kidding. No
So
kidding.
because I
Well, I
do a lot
love
of that
that
on the
so
phone.
much. Oh my
So
goodness. I mean that. And that's why I was going to say, um, I can't possibly imagine what it would be like not to have a phone or internet or all these things, but you've done a fantastic job of punt and pivot.
well, trying, it's kind of that what we always say. A lot of our things are out of our control.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
there's no point in getting upset. Just roll with the punches.
Yeah.
It gives me more quiet time. I like quiet time, and so
To not have your phone ding, ding
yeah, yeah.
every
And
second. Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
reveal, you'll
That's
laugh
amazing.
at this. I guess I need the quiet time. My husband was looking at the stats for my phone bill last month. 2,100 texts
Uh-oh.
in 6,100 minutes. Actually, 6,119 was the minutes.
Wow.
But I do a lot. I do a lot of talking, obviously, and a lot of texting with clients and that.
Well, I
kind
was going to say you've done a lot of those free consultations in November. It sounds like
Yes.
everybody is wanting to chat with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
awesome.
anyways,
All right, sweet Doc. I hope you have a fantastic Thanksgiving.
you
Wish
too.
luck. If you hear smoke alarms going off in Overland Park, no,
Hello too.
it's me. It's not going to be a problem. So thank you very much and take us home, Doc.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving week. Have a blessed and thankful day, no matter what it is. Um, you know, we are thankful for you. We are thankful to God to be in this country, to be able to be thankful for everything we have. And check us all out at kathyweaverkc.com and revdoc7.com. All our YouTubes and podcasts and all that information is on those websites. Give us a like and a tag and all of that fun stuff. And spread the word to your friends. We'd love to connect more, have more faithful friends on purpose. Take care. See you later, Queenie.
Thank you. Bye, Doc.
Bye, Queenie.